Based on suggestions outlined in recent studies by the Cecil Group and Hyatt Palma, stakeholders and members of the Downtown Partnership, as well as city officials, took a road trip to study 3 New England coastal towns similar to New London in size and with historical working waterfronts. They were Newburyport, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine, and Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Joining the group of 25 were the city manager, Denise Rose, city planner, Harry Smith, Planning and Zoning Commissioner Mark Christensen, New London Main Street Executive Officer Penny Parsekian, the mayor, and present and former city councilors. We start our study tour with John Woodman, a local architect involved in the redevelopment of Newburyport from the beginning.
Of development over here on the left, one house that was underutilized and in disrepair has been recently bought up from somebody who moved up here from Boston. Put in 3 units, 3 houses, 3 condos. The Historical Society is requiring to fix up the barn rather than tear it down.
Is there a high percentage of the multi-unit conversions happening in some of the big houses?
Is there a large percentage of conversions of these large houses? Yeah, I would say. But there's also a lot of restoration going on, bringing them back to what they were in their original form.
Any B&Bs?
Beg your pardon?
Say bed and breakfast? Anybody taking?
Well, this house right here is a bed and breakfast. It's been that way for a long time. I don't know how successful it is, but there are a lot of bed and breakfasts here. We just went by the Firehouse, which is a cultural center, has a theater in it, and it's a very important hub of activity. The waterfront parking lots that were never developed, big political contentious issues. Those of us around in the 70s thought it was going to be developed for economic reasons. People who moved in later said, gee, we like it open. There's been a fight about keep the waterfront open or should it be developed. Hasn't been resolved yet.
A working lunch at Michael's Harborside Restaurant. Many of the folks involved in redevelopment since the 1970s were there to talk to us about the challenges and changes, such as the debate over waterfront parking or the temptation to take urban renewal money versus toughing it out with restoration of derelict buildings. Ann Lagasse repurposed buildings early on and ultimately joined forces with a larger firm, New England Development, to expand their capacity. City planner Andy Port, a relative newcomer, continues with the legacy, stressing own it or zone it. He stressed that keys to success have been mixed-use development. After lunch, we took a walking tour, starting with the waterfront park.
Structural engineers said the only thing that's holding this together is force of habit. We basically took everything down, from the roof right down to the ground on the backside of the building. And Byron mentioned that Pierce was here in his late 90s, sort of blessing what we were doing. We took the wall down and reconstructed it with new construction block and brick. Took the roof off. The beams were just kind of hanging there by fingernails. So this is what it looked like. Now, the interesting thing about this, these were the first buildings that were restored. Nobody thought it made economic sense, but the Redevelopment Authority got 5 individual owner-occupants. We had a vested interest in making it work.
This is the view from the top of the Tannery, a new multi-story shopping and dining experience venue available for private parties. Back on the bus and on to Portland, Maine.